when my granddad had passed away last year, there's a period of mourning you have to take up 13 days. I was advised by a friend not to meditate during those 13 days or not to meditate for too long. I remember the night that he passed, I sat to meditate, couldn't go deep for whatever reason. And then suddenly, within like 5 minutes of me thinking, hey, I'm not being able to go deep, I went very deep. And I almost feel like I stayed in some place for a very long amount of time. And all I remember about that was that there was an ocean, like a little mountain in the middle of the ocean, like a plateau, not a mountain. And I clearly remember Shiva sitting on top of that mountain, blessing me and saying, no, don't meditate.
Go.
And I got pushed out, but I felt like I'd spent 2 or 3 hours in that place when in human time, I'd probably just spent 15 minutes. At the end of that meditation, I almost felt like my granddad's soul was showering me with like blessings, like a very large amount of blessings, almost like a spiritual will.
Yeah.
And that got me to read up a lot about Pitrus, ancestors.
I call them spirit guides.
There's a personal part of me that wants to ask you about him, if this was just my imagination.
But I told you, I mean, of course, I picked up, I said maternal grandfather, but it could be paternal grandfather also, because I saw grandfather energy. So it could be him as well.
Why do they want to stay with their grandkid? And do they stay with all the grandkids, or is it one particular one? Are they able to stay with multiple people?
So let's understand what spirit guides are, shall we?
Sure.
So when a family member passes away, they can choose to, from the spiritual realm, be around family members to guide and protect them.
Multiple members together.
Multiple members. They can be with your father. They're omnipresent, right? They can be with their other children. They can be with you today. They can be with somebody else tomorrow. Now, there are multiple reasons why they can choose. Now, if one of the family members is suffering, grieving, taking wrong decisions, they will come to guide them.
In their dreams?
In their dreams or through people. You know?
How through people?
Like, for example, you are getting dreams about a spirit guide, or a spirit guide is coming and visiting you in your dreams. But you're so tired, consumed, unwell, or materialistically consumed by ye karna hai, wo karna, I have to do this, I have to do that. You will not, even though they're trying to communicate, you will not catch on to their frequency. It's like there's a faint music playing in the background, but if the TV is on, vacuum is on, 10 other gadgets are on, you will not hear that. Now, in order to be heard, they will catch people in your life who will pick up that frequency and communicate that message.
Like your wife might tell you, hey, I just saw your granddad in that dream.
Yeah, or a friend, or it could even be a stranger who might just give you that message, and then you're like, oh, why is this repeated? So these spirit guides, if they can't reach out to you, they will reach out to people who will pick up on that frequency and give you that warning. That's one aspect, that you're taking decisions. Now, the other aspect is they're just there around you, guiding and protecting you. Now, also, sometimes your karma is not over, where they have a certain attachment, or maybe they wanted to do something more for you, so then they will come through. Or kabhi their, what we call ichha, or their desires unfulfilled, they will come to that family member who has the ability to fulfill that for them. And then sometimes they may not even be around you. Like when my grandmother passed away, I was very attached. Her life was in me, which everyone would say that, like, if I may say, she was like my soulmate. And she passed away in my arms, and she had Ganga Jal, and she passed away in my arms. So that connection was unreal. And after she passed away, every time I tried to connect with her, I would see her smiling, and I'm like, are you there? And she's like, our karma is over, tera mera khatam. Which means I'm done. We finished that karma. So now I don't have anything to give. I don't have anything to receive. Because the minute she starts giving, that soul is adding new energetic cycles, right? So if I owe you 10 rupees and I've paid you back in some way or the other, if I even give you 1 rupee extra, you'll have to pay me back that. So that's how it works.
Can I ask you a whack question again?
Yeah.
My grandmom passed away when I was 7 years old. And I actually have very happy memories with her. Okay, I was playing this game with my girlfriend once where I asked her, what's your favorite food?
Yeah.
And she said something. And I asked her why. And she's like, because we didn't have money to buy this. And I said, that's why it's your favorite. My favorite food is butter paneer. And my only reason for liking it is because my grandmom used to make it for me and celebrate it when she was packing it in my tiffin for school. So all my life after that, butter paneer has been like, and that's the only association I have with her. Why would she still choose to be with me? Is it because of BeerBiceps and being able to affect the world positively?
Possible, you know. And also, sometimes you just need, now your grandmother from this lifetime could have been your mother, father, sibling, partner, child in another lifetime, right? You know, I already know that my grandfather's incarnated in the family. So the dynamics will change, right?
That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
They have the choice of choosing incarnation.
Yes, but it's guided by a lot of masters, angels, ascended masters.
They'll suggest.
They will suggest. And, you know, why people talk about enlightenment, moksha, is because the more powerful you are, or more high vibrating you are, better choices and more choices you get. So, if I may explain, when we go to school, Ranveer, in 9th standard, 10th standard, before board exams, we get that study leave where we tell the teacher we are not coming to school, we'll study from home. Now, you only get that study leave when you're 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, right? If someone is flunked, has scored 35, 40%, and they tell the teacher, give us study leave, you think they'll get a study leave? The teacher will be like, no, you have to come to school. Because the teacher knows that this child will not study at home. It needs to be done under guidance and supervision. Such is the case with reincarnations. If a soul is vibrating at a higher level, higher frequency, they can choose to incarnate, they can choose to not incarnate. That choice is theirs. But souls of low vibrating frequencies do not have a choice. They are sent back to learn and learn and learn.
A low vibrating frequency on a very extreme level would be a murderer or something, right?
Murderer, rapist, someone who's I won't say an atheist, but someone who shuns life. People who commit that's the worst form of sin. Drug abuse, any kind of even not learning your lessons. Today, if I may say, you may be a pandit, but if you're just fleecing people of money and then going and drinking and I'm not saying having non-veg is a low vibrational thing, but doing wrong things, that will be a low vibrational person.
If we move one step forward in the spectrum, I'm not talking about absolute high frequency. What would be the second lowest level of low frequency? Being unethical on the inside.
Being unethical on the inside, and also just being stuck in the human vibration. Money, 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 sex, 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 greed. There's no heart consciousness. Then you're only living from the root chakra, which is all about sex, money, sustaining. That's the lowest.
Understood.
Your chakras resonate with your frequencies, na?
We'll talk about this in the next episode because there's too many topics I want to unlock right now. Before we move forward, another roadblock I need to.
Yes.
If I ask you to channelize my grandmom again,
yes,
I don't remember having an adult conversation because she passed away when I was 7. She was very ill between the time I was like 5 and 7.
But she prayed a lot for you. She prayed a lot for your birth. And she was a Durga Bhakt.
Yeah.
So maybe your connection with Durga is also because of her. Because they pass on that energy, right? And sometimes, like I said, spirit guides are just hanging around us, right? Today, now I have people who come to me saying, we've never seen our grandparents. But I'm like, it's not your attachment with them. It is their attachment with you.
As in?
As in how attached they feel to you. So today, I'll give you an example. Say, tomorrow when you have kids, even though you pass away before their children are born, because you yearn them, you'll still be around them.
It's like when you go back home, your mom's always trying to feed you something, and you're like, no, mom, I don't want to get fat.
Yeah. Especially Punjabi house. Kamzor ho gaya hai. So.
Do you think she's okay with what I've done in life?
Very.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think she asked for someone who takes up fame as a thing, or?
She always knew you were a confident child, but somewhere it took you a while to come out of the closet. You were a very shy kid. You know? And now, I would say last 9 to 11 years is when you've become more confident in a social environment.
But then again, you know, I think of why she would still want to be there. It's just attachment to the family.
Also they bring in a lot of energies that you need. They bring in a lot of protection. Okay. Now, because today you're doing so much of meditation, you meet so many people, you know, the more we grow into the power, the more protection we need. And no matter how powerful you are here in body, you still need that energetic protection. Because remember, energy always flows from a higher to a lower. Higher you grow, there are more chances of you being drained out or pulled down.
Also, I think post their passing away, it's their chance to be parents again.
Yeah.
Right? And that must be a trip. You're a parent, I'm not.
Yeah.
So there's something very primal about being a parent.
Oh, absolutely. That's like a different joy altogether. Because that's our way to give also, right? Because till the time you don't become parents, you're only just receiving that love from family, from parents, grandparents. Where do we give that?
If you enjoyed this clip from the Ranveer Show, we've uploaded a ton of other clips related to a ton of other topics. So explore the channel because there's something for everyone.